Please hold for a very important message.
What's up, YouTube? This is Gilbert LaLaLakers, back with Dizzy Gaming, here for another video. And this one I wanted to do my top 5 surprises so far in the LCS leagues for the Season 5, I guess you could say. Because they all have different names, blah, blah, blah. Alright, so since it is the LCS specifically, I'm only going to be talking about the North American and European scene. So let's go ahead and move on to the list. So, number 5. We have H2K's rise to European contendership. I think that's a word. Or rise to becoming European contenders. Alright, so H2K, of course, formerly known as Cloud9 Eclipse, is currently sitting at a 9-4 record in the European LCS. Pretty outstanding for a team that didn't even qualify for the LCS a few months back when they lost out to the Super Hot Crew, or several months back when they lost to the Super Hot Crew at the time for their chance to get into the LCS. Now, under a new brand, H2K, with a new coach, Prawley, a new mid laner, Ryu, this team is really clicking and putting their best efforts to becoming a contender in the European scene. I have to put them on this list because I think people expected this team to do pretty decent. I would say probably around maybe where Elements and Rockhat are right now, about that 5-9 range. Like, not the worst team in Europe by any means, but definitely not able to compete with the likes of Gambit, Fnatic, SK, and even the Unicorns of Love, which came in with quite a bit of hype after their IEM performance. And now we have H2K sitting at 9-4, tied for second with Fnatic as I make this video, and showing people that this is the real deal. I know Prawley gets a lot of credit for kind of leading this team and instructing them, and he seems to be doing his new coaching job very efficiently, and the players and everyone else within the community have nothing but nice things to say about him. I don't think that people are overrating his impact, but I do think that people are kind of focusing a little bit too much on Prawley in the coach aspect. I do want to give a lot of credit to H2K's players. They have obviously been performing fantastic this season, and I definitely look forward to seeing how this team does in the second half of the season, as we approach the halfway mark. Another quick thing I want to mention about H2K is we are going to see what this team is made of. Now, I know you guys have maybe heard the common expression in sports, contenders and pretenders. There's a big difference, and I feel that one of the big things that separates the two is when a team starts having success. It is much easier for a team to plan effectively against them. Right now, perhaps the rest of the European LCS didn't see H2K being a threat and maybe overlooked them a little bit, overlooked a couple aspects of their play style. Now that teams know that this is a team to watch out for, I want to see how they react to the counter plays, the counter strategies, what people come up to try to beat them week to week to week leading up into the playoffs. And I want to see how H2K takes it and tries to stay one step ahead, because like I said, I really feel that will determine if this H2K team is for real, if they are going to be a playoff contender, or just another I guess okay team that does pretty decent in the European LCS. So I don't even know what the fuck I was trying to say there. But let's go ahead and move on to number 4. We have Balls from Cloud9 having not as big of an impact this season as one may think or one may have expected. So Balls, the top laner for Cloud9, is really known to be one of, hands down, the best top laners in North America, and has been known for quite a while, since Cloud9 first entered the LCS. And one of the biggest things that really surprises me is that this is a Rumble meta. You know, this Rumble is a champion that Balls has been known probably internationally. I know for a fact the Western scene knows Balls for his Rumble play. He has gotten a lot of notoriety for it in the past, and in a meta where Rumble is not only viable, it's actually pretty fucking decent. I'm really surprised that he hasn't been doing more in these games. Now, Cloud9 did struggle a little bit at the start of the season. They were picking up losses against teams that people were expecting them to easily beat or at least win against. And they seem to have rectified their small little errors that they were making week to week. And they have been playing a little bit better recently, Balls included. But I definitely expected him to have a much bigger impact on this team. He was kind of one of the most consistent players on this team. Sneaky, who has still been consistent, would be the other one, along with Balls, that you could just count on them night in and night out to perform, whether the team wins, whether the team loses. You know, they may not post the best KDAs, but they are always at least playing decent. And I will say overall, I do think that Balls has played decent. But those we haven't really had those games where he carries, where he just gets 2 kills in lane, solo kills against his top lane opponent, and then transfers that over into team fights and ends up with like a score of 8, 2, and 10. You know, we haven't seen many of those games this season for Balls, and I really hope that changes, because I'm a big fan of his and Cloud9. I think they're an awesome, very fun team, very entertaining team to watch. And we'll have to see if he can turn it around and improve on his 3.8 KDA that he has posted so far. All right, so that's number 4. Let's go ahead and move on to number 3, Gambit's inconsistent start. So Gambit Gaming, as mentioned in my last video when I talked about them, about the IEM Katowice preview, in which they will be competing, Gambit kind of came into the European LCS, although they didn't have the best season last year. They came in with quite a bit of expectations because of their IEM win, which, you know, wasn't too long ago coming into the LCS. And then sure enough, they struggled. They struggled really bad at the beginning. I want to say they started like 0-4 before they even got their first win in the LCS. They continued losing for a little bit, and now all of a sudden they were on a winning streak. They won quite a few in a row. I believe they came into this week at a 7-5 record or a 7-4 record. Now they are currently sitting at a 7-6 record, tied with the Copenhagen Wolves for 4th place. And this is really interesting. They have had moments where it looks like the old Gambit that we like, you know. Diamond putting pressure all over the map. Edward being aggressive support, getting some kills for now Pinoy at the AD carry. You know, what we like to see from Gambit, you know, good, solid team fighting. But then they have these games where they just looked outmatched. The Eve pick this last weekend was very confusing to me. I don't really know what they were trying to achieve with that pick. You know, and that kind of worries me. You know, that looks like a team that, you know, of course it's okay to try new stuff. You know, if you plan for a strategy, if you have a legitimate reason why you want to play this and, you know, let's try it out. Yeah, I'm totally for that. You know, that's how innovation happens, because if not, we would just be seeing the same 3 champions over and over every single game, which still does happen sometimes, but nonetheless. I like that they're trying to step out of the box, catch people off guard, but I didn't really see what they were trying to accomplish there. Now, Diamond did do good on Eve. He went 2-0-8, or 2-0-8, which is quite a good KDA, but he just didn't have the impact. And that's one thing that people know about Eve right now, is that she doesn't have the same effect that she did pre-nerfs. So it was really confusing to me as a bystander just watching the game. You know, and it kind of worries me as to where Gambit is strategically in their, you know, in their season with their team synergy and such, especially heading into IEM Katowice, which we'll have to see how they perform there. But yeah, their inconsistent start is definitely very surprising for me, and I had to put it number 3 on the list. All right, so number 2, we have a recent transaction that occurred in the North American LCS. One of the up-and-coming talents in the North American scene, Alltech for Winterfox, the team has announced that he has actually requested a transfer of position to the support lane, to the support position in the bottom lane, and their coach, Paragon, a former AD carry of Incredible Miracle in 2012, is moving over to the AD carry position. So I've never heard of this before. I've never heard of a coach stepping in and becoming a player, which I think is intriguing, very interesting. I kind of worried about that, honestly. When I first heard that, now I do like that Alltech asked for this. I think if Winterfox would have just done this, if this was the coach's decision to step in, I think that we could have seen a ticking time bomb, with team chemistry, because usually a coach is in a position of authority, and if they're just able to kick someone off and say, okay, I want to play, fuck you, get the fuck out of my seat, I want to sit down and play this week, that definitely opens the door to a lot of drama, and especially in a scene like League of Legends where the drama is there, whether we like to admit it or not. There's a lot of needed drama, I guess you could say. I can't find a better word for that at the moment, but I was worried when I first heard it, but it does seem that Alltech wanted this change. He wanted to move to support. He didn't want to feel the pressure of being a carry every game. He kind of wasn't too confident in his abilities to play it game in, game out, and bring out those high kill numbers or contribution numbers. So I'm intrigued to see Alltech moving to support. We'll have to see if he follows the same footsteps as someone quoted on Twitter, as I'm quoting someone on Twitter, Afromoo and Yellowstar. We'll have to see if he is successful with the transition. I don't know much about Paragon as an AD carry, so I can't really safely comment about that on my opinions about him. We'll have to see how that unravels, but I'm confident that Alltech can be successful at support. I think he has a lot of mechanical talent for League of Legends. He's very young. He seems to have the right mindset, and I really feel that this will work out for Alltech. I just wonder how the team dynamic is going to work. One thing that was mentioned in the Daily Dot article about this, which you can look up, I'll try to see if I can post the link in the description for you guys as well, if I remember to. One thing that was mentioned in the article is, he wants to be able to be more talkative in the team chat. And the writer even mentioned that may not be such a good thing. This is a Korean-speaking team. 3 of them are native Korean speakers. Pobelter, of course, being fluent in both languages, English and Korean. But Alltech is moving to a position so he can be more talkative with the team that may not understand English that much. So we'll have to see how it takes place. I think it's definitely really interesting. I've never seen a transition like this in sports. Obviously, esports differs a little bit, having your coaches being able to just step in like this. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see how it turns out. I wish the best for Winterfox. I really like some of their players, and we'll have to see. I really had a little bit higher expectations than what they've performed so far. So we shall see. All right, number 1 biggest surprise of the LCS so far this season, I would have to say, would be Keith McBree's success in the North American LCS. This is a guy that you may have heard of before from the challenger scene, but his picture was not anywhere to be found in the League of Legends community. I'm looking at the LoL Esports North American LCS page right now, and they still don't even have a functioning picture for him on his player profile, or at least for the KDA part. So, I mean, this is a guy that caught everyone off guard. Piglet, I don't think anyone could have predicted Piglet struggling as much as he did when they first came over to Team Liquid. I mean, I don't think Team Liquid has a problem with talent. It seems to be that synergy issues that have plagued them since Curse Gaming, as I mentioned in multiple videos already. So I definitely think this is the biggest surprise, having a former world champion from the SK Telecom team coming over to North American scene, expected to have not only a good season, but a fantastic season at the very least. And now let's see here, Piglet is sporting a 2.9 KDA, and Keith McBrief is sporting a 7.8 KDA, tied with Sneaky for third place in the North American LCS in overall KDA performance. Now, granted, Keith has played less games, which of course taints the number a little bit, but still, absolutely insane. Definitely would not have predicted that. And to continue the unexpectedness even more, Piglet has been re-announced into the lineup again for this upcoming week of the North American LCS. It's definitely a show. It's definitely entertaining over there at the Team Liquid house. So they never cease to amaze us, it seems. And I was very surprised with Keith McBrief's performance. We'll have to see how that transitions over to next season. I have a feeling that he will have a team next split, whether it's with Liquid or and Piglet leaving, which is still a possibility whether people want to admit it or not, or if Keith just goes with another competing LCS team or challenger team. I definitely think he is going to get a lot of offers to play AD carry on other teams with how he has performed thus far in the season. So, all right, everyone. So thanks for watching once again. This has been Gilbert LaLaLakers with Dizzy Gaming. I do want to thank everyone once again. You know, even viewing the channel helps a lot. It really does. So remember to like the video, subscribe for more esports content. As I always say, the Dizzy Gaming website is launching extremely soon, probably at the end of this month. It'll be ready, and yeah, if you want to be a part of it, feel free to send me an email at loldizzygaming@gmail.com. That's lol, LOL, dizzygaming@gmail.com. And yeah, if you have any way that you think you can help out, or of course we are always looking for esports writing talent or anything along those means, just feel free to send a message. All right, so that should be it. Check out a couple more videos right up there, and yeah, that should be it. LaLaLakers, Dizzy Gaming, I'm out. Stay competitive.